There is a specific look people give you when they know they can use you. It is not hate. Hate would imply they see you as a threat. Hate would imply you have power. It is not anger. Anger would imply you matter enough to disturb their peace. It is indifference. It is a quiet, subtle contempt. It is the way they interrupt you in the middle of a sentence and do not even apologize. The way they leave you on read for days knowing you will reply instantly the moment they decide to come back. The way they dump their trauma, their work, and their emotional baggage onto you, but vanish the moment you need a shoulder. You feel it deep in your gut. A cold, sinking realization that you are the background character in your own life. You are the safe option, the one who never says no. The one who will always be there waiting, hoping that if you just give a little more, if you are just a little nicer, a little more understanding, they will finally see your worth. But they will not, and deep down you know why, because you do not respect yourself. You think you are being kind, you think you are being a good person. You have convinced yourself that your silence is maturity, that your endless forgiveness is a virtue. But Machiavelli, the man who understood the darkest corners of human nature, would tell you the brutal truth. You are not virtuous. You are harmless. And in this world, harmless things are not respected. They are consumed. You have spent your entire life trying to be loved. But Machiavelli wrote, "It is much safer to be feared than loved, because love is preserved by the link of obligation, which owing to the baseness of men is broken at every opportunity for their advantage. But fear preserves you by a dread of punishment which never fails." Now pause. I am not telling you to become a tyrant. I am not telling you to become a villain. I am telling you that you need to become dangerous. Because until you are capable of walking away, until you are capable of indifference, until you are capable of letting people lose you, you have no negotiating power. If you are tired of being the doormat, if you are tired of the disrespect, if you are tired of feeling invisible, then you need to kill the part of you that begs for approval. In this video, we are going to dismantle the psychological programming that keeps you weak. We are not going to talk about self, love, or positive affirmations. Those are useless against human nature. We are going to use Machiavellian philosophy and dark psychology to rebuild your spine. There is a switch in the human mind, a trigger. Once you flip it, the disrespect stops instantly. The people who ignored you will suddenly seek your validation. The people who used you will suddenly fear losing you. But to flip that switch, you have to be willing to do the one thing you are most afraid of. Let us begin. Why is gold valuable? Why is a diamond precious? Why is water, which is essential for life, free, while a useless stone costs a fortune? Scarcity. It is the fundamental law of economics, and it is the fundamental law of human relationships. You are treated like nothing because you are free. You are always available. You are an unlimited resource. When someone sends you a message, you reply in seconds. When someone asks for a favor, you say yes before they even finish the sentence. When someone cancels plans with you at the last minute, you say it is okay. I understand. You have flooded the market with your presence, and when supply exceeds demand, the value drops to zero. You believe that by being available, you are building connection. You think if I am always there for them, they will realize how loyal I am. Wrong. Human beings are wired to chase what retreats. We are hunters by nature. We do not value what falls into our lap. We value what we have to work for, what we have to earn. When you give your time, your energy, and your attention away for free, you are teaching people that you have no value. You are training them to disrespect you. Machiavelli said, "The vulgar crowd always is taken by appearances, and the world consists chiefly of the vulgar." He meant that people judge you by how you present yourself. If you present yourself as someone who has nothing better to do than wait for them, they will treat you as someone who has nothing better to do. Think about the person you respect the most. Do they answer their phone on the first ring every time? Do they agree with everything you say? Do they apologize for existing? No. They have boundaries. They have a life outside of you. They are scarce. If you want to regain respect, you must artificially create scarcity. You must withdraw. This is not a game. This is not playing hard to get. This is about reclaiming your own life. Stop explaining yourself. The next time someone asks you to do something you do not want to do not give them a paragraph of excuses. Do not lie and say, "Oh, I have a doctor's appointment." Do not say, "I would love to, but my cat is sick." Just say, "No, I cannot do that," or even better, "No," and then silence. The silence that follows a no is where your power lives. Most people are terrified of that silence. They rush to fill it with nervous laughter, with justifications, with apologies. "I am so sorry. I just really have a lot going on right now." Stop. When you explain, you are submitting. You are asking for their permission to say no. You are implicitly saying, "Please do not be mad at me. I have a valid reason." A king does not explain his decrees. A queen does not apologize for her boundaries. When you offer an explanation, you open the door for negotiation. You give them a hook to drag you back in. "Oh, you have a doctor's appointment. What time? We can do it after." But when you simply say no, or "That does not work for me," you hit them with a wall, a solid, immovable wall of self-respect. It will feel uncomfortable. Your heart will race. Your brain will scream. They are going to hate you. Let them. If their affection depends on your submission, you never had their affection. You had their usage. You must understand the concept of the Zeigarnik effect applied to presence. The human mind fixates on incomplete tasks, on things it cannot fully grasp. When you are an open book, when you vomit your entire inner world to anyone who listens, you are a completed task. They have figured you out. They have consumed you, they move on. But when you hold back, when you listen more than you speak, when you disappear for a while to work on yourself without announcing it to the world, you become an incomplete loop. They start to wonder, where is he? What is she thinking? Why does he not need my approval anymore? That wonder is the seed of respect. Carl Jung, the father of analytical psychology, said something that cuts through every excuse you have ever made. The world will ask you who you are, and if you do not know, the world will tell you. Right now, the world is telling you that you are nothing, and the world is doing that because you are whispering it to yourself every single day. External reality is a mirror. It reflects your internal state back to you with brutal accuracy. You walk into a room with your shoulders slumped, eyes darting, apologizing for taking up space. You speak softly, afraid to offend. You laugh at jokes that are not funny just to ease the tension. You are broadcasting a signal, and that signal is "I am prey." Predatory personalities, narcissists, Machiavellians, exploiters, they have a sixth sense for this signal. They can smell the lack of self-respect on you like blood in the water. They do not target the strong, they target the compliant. And it is not just the predators. Even normal good people will unconsciously lose respect for you. It is biological. We are social animals with a hierarchy. When you signal that you are at the bottom, people treat you like you are at the bottom. This is the hardest pill to swallow. You are complicit in your own abuse. Every time you stayed silent when you should have spoken up, you signed a contract. Every time you accepted an apology that was not sincere, you lowered your price. Every time you went back to someone who hurt you, you taught them how to hurt you again. You teach people how to treat you. If you tolerate disrespect, you authorize it. Machiavelli wrote, "Men are so simple and so ready to obey present necessities that he who deceives will always find those who allow themselves to be deceived." He is saying that people will push until they hit a wall. If they never hit a wall, they will keep pushing. They will take your arm, then your leg, then your soul. Not because they are evil, though some are, but because it is the nature of power to expand into empty space. You are empty space. You have no walls. You have no fortress. To change this, you have to stop looking at them and start looking at the pacts you made with yourself. Why do you feel guilty when you stand up for yourself? Where did you learn that your needs are secondary? Who told you that to be good meant to be silent? This is where we enter the shadow. You repress your aggression. You think aggression is bad. You think anger is toxic, so you shove it down into the basement of your psyche. But a person without the capacity for aggression is not virtuous. They are just weak. A rabbit is not virtuous because it does not eat the wolf. It cannot eat the wolf. To be truly respected, you must be capable of being dangerous, but choose to be kind. You must have a sword and keep it sheathed. If you have no sword, your kindness is not a gift. It is a survival strategy. You are nice because you are terrified of what will happen if you are not, and people smell that fear. Respect comes from the realization that you could bite, but you choose not to. That you could walk away and never look back. That you could destroy the relationship if your boundaries are crossed. If you cannot destroy, you cannot protect. So how do you build this? How do you stop broadcasting victim and start broadcasting sovereign? It starts with the body and it ends with the voice. Stop rushing. Insecure people rush. They walk fast. They talk fast. They eat fast. They act as if they are stealing time, as if they do not deserve to be there. Slow down. Move with deliberation. When you turn your head, turn it slowly. When you speak, pause between sentences. Silence is not empty. It is heavy. Let your words land. When you rush to answer a question, you are trying to please. When you take 3 seconds to think before you speak, you are evaluating. The person evaluating holds the frame. The person rushing to answer is trapped in the frame. Change the dynamic. When someone interrupts you, do not stop talking. Keep speaking at the same volume or stop completely. Look them in the eyes for 3 seconds of uncomfortable silence and then say, "I was not finished." Do not smile when you say it. Smiles are for submission. Smiles are for like me. Keep your face neutral. This is what we call the Machiavellian gaze. It is an unreactive, observant look. It says, "I see what you are doing, and it does not affect me." The moment you do this, the moment you hold the tension instead of trying to diffuse it, the dynamic flips. They will feel a spike of anxiety. They will realize, wait, I cannot push him, I cannot push her. And in that moment of anxiety, respect is born. Let us go deeper into the philosophy. Why are you so attached to being nice? Because you believe in a transactional universe. You believe that if you put goodness coins into the vending machine of life, you will get love and respect out. You think if I listen to their problems for 3 hours, they will listen to mine. If I cover for them at work, they will help me when I am overwhelmed. If I never complain, they will appreciate my patience. But life is not a vending machine and people are not logical mechanisms. Machiavelli shattered this illusion 500 years ago. He said, "A man who wishes to make a profession of goodness in everything must necessarily come to grief among so many who are not good." Read that again. If you insist on being good, compliant, submissive, yielding in a world full of people who are self-interested, narcissistic, and power-hungry, you will be destroyed. This is not cynicism. This is survival. Your goodness is actually a covert contract. You are doing things for people expecting a return that you never asked for, and when they do not pay up, you become resentful. You sit in your room seething after everything I did for them. But did they ask you to do it, or did you do it because you wanted to buy their approval? Realize this, you are not a martyr. You are a manipulator who is bad at math. You are trying to manipulate people into loving you by sacrificing yourself. But the price of your sacrifice is too low. So they take it and give nothing back. Stop giving. Stop doing things that breed resentment. If doing a favor makes you feel used, do not do it. If listening to that friend complain about their ex for the 100th time makes you want to scream, hang up the phone. But that is selfish. Yes, be selfish. Selfishness is the foundation of self-preservation. You cannot pour from an empty cup, and right now, your cup is dry, cracked, and full of dust. You need to become what I call selectively generous. Generosity is beautiful when it is a choice, when it comes from a place of abundance. When you give because you want to, not because you feel you have to. But when you give out of obligation, that is slavery. You need to reclaim your yes. Your yes has no value because you give it to everyone. Can you help me move? Yes. Can you lend me money? Yes. Can you stay late? Yes, your yes is inflation currency. It is worthless paper money printed in the trillions. To make your yes valuable, you must introduce the no. You must flood the market with no, 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 I cannot, no, I will not. The first time you say no to someone who is used to hearing yes, they will react with shock, then anger. They might call you selfish. They might try to guilt-trip you. I thought we were friends. Recognize this for what it is, a tantrum. They are a child who has been told they cannot have the candy. Do not negotiate with the child. Do not apologize to the child. Stand firm and watch what happens. Once the anger fades, and it will, they will look at you differently. They will realize you have boundaries. They will realize you are not an extension of them, but a separate sovereign entity with your own will. And the next time you say yes, they will treasure it because they know you did not have to say it. This is the Machiavellian paradox. By refusing to serve them, you become someone worthy of their service. But there is a trap here, a mental trap that keeps you stuck in the cycle of submission. It is the fear of abandonment. You think if I set boundaries they will leave, and you are right. Some of them will leave. The parasites will leave, the users will leave, the energy vampires will leave, let them go. You are holding on to dead weight and calling it a support system. You are drowning, and you are terrified of letting go of the anchor. Machiavelli said, "One should never fall in the belief that you can find someone to pick you up. You have to pick yourself up. You have to be willing to walk alone because the quality of your life is determined by the quality of what you refuse to tolerate." We are done with the diagnosis. You know what the sickness is. The sickness is your need to be liked. The sickness is your fear of conflict. Now the cure, these are not tips. These are laws. Laws of physics applied to social dynamics. If you break gravity, you fall. If you break these laws, you fall. Law 1, the power of the void. Human beings are terrified of empty space. In conversation, when there is a pause, your instinct is to fill it. You babble, you laugh nervously, you add unnecessary details, stop it. When you ask a question, shut your mouth. Wait for the answer. When you make a statement, let it hang in the air. Create a void. The person who is more comfortable with the void holds the power. When you become comfortable with silence, you force the other person to work for your validation. They will start talking to fill the space. They will reveal things they did not mean to say. They will try to impress you. The void is a vacuum. It sucks their power out and gives it to you. Be the void. Law 2, never bleed in public. Machiavelli knew that vulnerability is a double-edged sword. In the wrong hands, it is a weapon used against you. You have been told to be vulnerable, to share your feelings. Do not share your wounds with people who have not proven they can hold the bandage. When you complain about your life to people who do not respect you, you are giving them ammunition. You are showing them exactly where to kick you later. If you are hurt, if you are struggling, process it in private or process it with a therapist or process it with the very few loyal allies you have. To the rest of the world, you are unbothered, you are stoic. This drives them insane. They want a reaction. They want to see you crumble because it makes them feel superior. Deny them that satisfaction. Law 3, the walk-away leverage. In any negotiation, the person who cares the least wins. This is the iron law of power. If you need the job more than they need you, they own you. If you need the relationship more than they need you, they own you. You must cultivate the ability to walk away from anything. This requires you to build a life that you actually like. A life where you are your own primary source of stability. When you know deep in your bones that you will be fine without them, your energy shifts. You stop grasping, you stop begging, and ironically, that is exactly when they start chasing. Law 4, kill the jade. Jade stands for justify, argue, defend, explain. This is the behavior of the guilty. This is the behavior of the subordinate. When someone questions your decision, why are you not coming to the party, do not jade. Do not say, well, I am really tired and I have work tomorrow and my car is acting up. Say, I am not feeling it tonight. End of sentence. When you justify, argue, defend, or explain, you are handing them the judge's gavel. You are saying, please judge my reasons. Tell me if they are good enough. Burn the gavel, you are the judge. Law 5, become unpredictable. Machiavelli advised the prince to be a shape shifter. You are too predictable. People know exactly what you will do. You will say yes. You will smile. You will stay late. Predictability is boring. Predictability is safe. Safe things are ignored. Break the pattern. If you are usually talkative, be quiet for a day. If you are always available on Friday nights, disappear for 3 Fridays in a row. Do something out of character. This shocks the system. It wakes people up. It forces them to look at you again and realize they do not have you figured out. Mystery is a component of charisma. You cannot be mysterious if you are a creature of habit. Law 6. Judge by actions, never words. Words are air. Words are free. I love you. I respect you. I will pay you back. Ignore them. Turn off the sound. Watch the movie of their life without the audio. What do? Do they show up? Do they support you when it is inconvenient? Do they respect your boundaries when you set them? If the actions contradict the words are lies. Respect yourself enough to believe the evidence of your eyes, not the hope in your heart. Law 7. The sovereign mind. This is the final law. You must realize that no one is coming to save you. No one is coming to validate you. No one is going to hand you a crown and say now you matter. You have to crown yourself. Sovereignty means you are the supreme authority in your own reality. You define what is good, what is bad, what is worthy, and what is not. You stop looking for external permission. You simply are. There is a misconception that being Machiavellian or dark means being evil. It does not. It means being integrated. Jordan Peterson, drawing from Jung, talks about this often. He says you should be a monster, and then you should learn to control it. Why? Because if you are incapable of cruelty, you are not virtuous. You are just helpless. A man who holds a sword but chooses not to swing it is peaceful. A man who has no sword is not peaceful. He is a victim in waiting. You need to find your inner monster. You need to find that part of you that can be cold, that can be ruthless, that can cut someone out of your life without looking back. You have spent years suppressing this side of yourself. You thought it was bad, but it is your protector. That anger you feel, that rage when someone disrespects you, that is your monster waking up. That is your self-respect trying to break through the concrete of your conditioning. Do not silence it. Listen to it. It is telling you this is not enough. We deserve better. When you integrate your shadow, you gain a new kind of presence. People can feel it. They feel that you are not just a nice person. They feel that there is a dangerous potential in you, and that potential demands respect. Think of the ocean. The ocean is beautiful. We love to look at it. We find it therapeutic, but we also respect it. Why? Because we know it can kill us. We know that underneath the sparkling surface there are depths we cannot see and currents we cannot fight. Be like the ocean, beautiful on the surface, dangerous underneath. This integration is painful. It requires you to stop being the victim in your own story. Victims are innocent. Victims are pure. But victims are powerless. To take power, you have to admit that you are capable of darkness. You have to admit that you have the capacity to hurt, to manipulate, to dominate. And then you choose to use that capacity for protection, not destruction. You use it to draw a circle around yourself and say, "Nothing crosses this line without my permission." Here is the price. I told you I would be honest. There is a price for self-respect, and the price is solitude. When you start applying these laws, your circle will shrink. The people who liked you because you were easy to manipulate, they will hate the new you. They will say you have changed. They will say you have become arrogant. Good. Let them leave. The fire of transformation burns away the dead wood. You will find yourself alone for a while. This is the desert of the real. It is quiet here. It is lonely here, but it is real. And it is better to be alone in the desert of reality than to be crowded in the illusion of fake connection. Use this solitude. This is not punishment. It is preparation. In this silence, you will hear your own voice for the first time in years. You will figure out what you actually like, what you actually want, not what your parents wanted, not what your partner wanted, not what society wanted. This is where the architect is born. You stop being a brick in someone else's wall, and you start building your own castle. Do not fear the loneliness. Embrace it. Solitude is the laboratory of the great. Every great mind, Machiavelli, Nietzsche, Jung, Tesla, they all spent time in the wilderness. They all had to disconnect from the herd to find their own path. If you are feeling lonely right now, reframe it. You are not lonely, you are untethered, you are free. And freedom is terrifying to those who have lived in cages their whole lives. So here is the choice. It is a binary choice. There is no middle ground. Option A, you go back to sleep, you apologize, you explain, you beg for scraps of attention, you let them interrupt you, you let them use you. You stay the nice person, the harmless person, the forgotten person, and you will die with a heart full of resentment, wondering why no one ever saw you. Option B, you wake up, you embrace the darkness, you integrate the shadow, you learn to say no without a smile, you learn to sit in the void of silence. You become the ocean, beautiful, deep, and dangerous. You respect yourself first, and you force the world to adjust to your standard. The world does not give you what you want. It gives you what you are. Be something undeniable. This path is not for everyone. Most people will turn this video off and go back to their comfortable slavery, but you are still here. That means there is something in you that is tired of the cage. If this opened your eyes, understand this is only the surface. This is what I can say on the public platform. There are truths about human nature, manipulation, and power dynamics that are too raw, too controversial, and too dangerous for the algorithm. I cannot teach you the deeper techniques here without being censored. Those lessons exist behind the join button. If you are ready to stop being an initiate and start becoming an architect, if you want the uncensored blueprints of the human psyche, click the join button, step into the insider or architect tier. You will unlock the members-only videos that come every Wednesday, the videos that dive into the abyss and bring back the fire. Most people will not click it. Most people are happy being prey, that is the point. But if you are ready to rule, I will see you on the inside. Respect yourself or no one else will.